Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency to address the worsening food crisis in the West African country. The government has announced a series of measures, including the provision of fertilizer and seeds to farmers, improvement of security to allow displaced farmers to till their land, and the setting up of a new irrigation project. Authorities in the West African nation say the emergency will rejuvenate the agricultural sector and increase food production. Here's more details of that in this report.
With current food inflation at a record over 24% and likely to worsen in the coming months, President Bola Tinubu is hoping his national emergency will reverse the situation and reassure the public. The government says the emergency will rejuvenate the agricultural sector and increase food production.
We will immediately release fertilizers and grains to farmers and households to mitigate the effects of the subsidy removal. 2, there will be an urgent synergy between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Water Resources to ensure adequate irrigation of farmlands and to guarantee that food is produced all year round. We shall create and support a national commodity exchange board that will review and continuously assess food prices as well as maintain strategic food reserve that will be used as price stabilization mechanism for critical grains and other food items. We will engage a security architecture to protect the farms and the farmers so that farmers can return to the farmlands without fear of attacks.
Food security is a big issue in Nigeria. Insecurity in the country's food-producing belts has forced many farmers to flee their homes and farms, leading to a drastic reduction in food supply. Severe flooding and other climate-related conditions have also compounded the problem.
I like the whole idea of situating the issue of food within the scope of an emergency. So that gives us a much larger latitude to take some extraordinary actions. But the whole idea of releasing grains and fertilizer, I don't think that will achieve much. We should have an engagement with those in the food sector.
The government is confident its measures will work and eventually force down food prices, but public opinion is still divided on it.
It's actually a welcome development, but the issue here is that how is it going to be possible? Because there are some things that need to be put into consideration. Firstly, if there has been an increase in the minimum wage, the poverty in the country will not be like this. It will not be high like this.
What we need now in Nigeria is job. We need job. Let them create job for the masses. There is hunger in the land. We don't need food. We need job. That is what Nigeria is begging for.
The government says it will begin to roll out the measures to combat food inflation immediately, but it stops short of putting a timeline on when citizens will start seeing food prices come down. For many, that will be the big deal in the government's food emergency plan. DG Badimosi, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.